Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a un nuevo encuentro virtual dentro de las actividades de Santa Cruz Cómic, versión virtual, valga la redundancia. Hoy vamos a tener la oportunidad de hablar con un actor, un artista, un ilustrador y tatuador profesional austríaco, al que tuve el honor de conocer y el gusto de conocer en una convención de los Másteres del Universo este mismo año en Alemania. Y bueno, en principio vamos a hacer lo que la normativa manda, que es dar los agradecimientos de rigor a quien posibilita que yo esté aquí sentado y que ustedes tengan la posibilidad de asistir a este encuentro virtual. Lo primero es a la Fundación Cinemas Cómic, o la Fundación para la Promoción y el Estudio del Lenguaje Gráfico, y yo añado cinematográfico, a la Cátedra Cultural Moebius de la Universidad de Laguna por dar el soporte teórico y por darle al cómic el reconocimiento académico que se le ha estado negando hasta antes de la pandemia, por lo menos a nivel institucional, a nivel académico, al ayuntamiento, al excelentísimo Ayuntamiento de Santa Cruz de Tenerife, al Cabildo de Tenerife, al Instituto Canario de Desarrollo Cultural, al Gobierno de Canarias, al Ministerio de Industria y Turismo, a la institución Turismo Islas Canarias y a la Unión Europea. Y yo por mi parte quiero dar las gracias a los responsables de Los Amigos, que es la convención, es una convención de los másteres de universo en Alemania que se llama Los Amigos. Y por más que he preguntado, nadie me ha explicado por qué una convención de los másteres del universo en Alemania se llama Los Amigos en castellano. Pero bueno, así queda. Gracias a la invitación pude conocer al invitado de hoy y gracias a su intermediación también he podido al final conseguir que esté aquí. Y dicho todo esto, les presento a Martin. Eh, Quiero tratar de pronunciarlo bien, algo así como mix, pero mi alemán es muy malo. Eh,
Hi there.
First, welcome. Thank you very much to attend. I try to say your surname properly, but
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I figured that. Yeah,
Yes,
I
I'm
guess it's
sorry,
not
but
it's not easy when you're not German speaking. So
no, I know.
so let's
I
just
sup-
stick to Dr. Rocke art. It's easier.
yes, a él se le conoce aparte por este nombre por Doctor Rock Art. I try to be polite because I suppose if you need to say my name is more easy, but my surname, especially the first, is so complicated. And because I live in a different country, uh, people here in Finland normally use my second surname because it's more smaller, because Serradilla is too big and Sanchez is more easy. And normally here I am Eduardo Sanchez. The only problem is Eduardo Sanchez was a name from my grandpa. That's not my real name. But
Okay.
someone say no, because it's your first surname is so huge and so complicated. But apart of that, I told you thank you very much for attend this virtual meeting, the
Well, thank
invitation,
you for having
and
me.
thank you from the time you spend with me, because you are when I meet with you in Los Amigos. Uh, I really enjoy the convention, but it was great to see your job, especially for the we have the illustration I show you. You make something really fun. This it's not a notebook. This thing to color
Ah, you yeah you
the album.
mean the book where you can
Yes,
paint a coloring book? Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
The coloring book. This is the thing. I have in Spanish, but I don't in English.
Yeah.
Because it's something I spent the last 42 years play and do things and collect things from the master of the universe, but I never seen something like this.
I guess it's quite new. Yeah.
No, no, it's something
There
new.
have been some coloring books, I guess, back in the day, but
Yes, there
um,
are something in the 80s, but to
yeah.
find are so complicated, and they are in a small scale. There are something like that. No,
Hmm.
like your job is a big scale and it's much better and it's more nicer. I need to interpret those things. Le he dicho que, para empezar, que muchas gracias, que me encantó conocerlo en Los Amigos en Alemania. Me encantó ver su trabajo y sobre todo lo que más me gustó fue que una de las cosas que se presentaban, que se ofrecieron en Los Amigos, fue un álbum para colorear de los Masters del Universo. Que eso, para, perdón, para alguien como yo, que ha jugado, coleccionado Eso, ese álbum, that álbum. Para alguien como yo, que lleva toda la vida con los mares del universo, es verdad que él ha dicho que había álbumes de estos hace mucho tiempo, a principios de los años 80, es su trabajo. I like this skeleton human, it's really nice.
Thank you.
Pero hacía mucho que
Yeah,
no lo
that's the
veía.
one.
Entonces, eso era yo creo que fue uno de los grandes atractivos de los amigos, encontrarse con eso, porque además yo tengo la teoría de que lo compraron tanto niños como padres. I have the theory that there are many parents that take not from the kid, from himself to paint because it's really nice. The thing is, it's not the classical coloring book from kids. It's possible for a kid to color it, but it's much more thinking from older guys. And it's nice that someone offered people like me, that I am older, these kind of things with your type of illustration. De hecho, que además esto está pensado no solo para niños, sino para personas mayores, o sea, personas como yo, porque lo que vas a colorear son ilustraciones mucho más serias que los álbumes para colorear que había pues cuando los másters surgieron, que surgieron en el 83, 84, 85, y que hoy son imposibles de encontrar. Bueno, limpios es prácticamente imposible, y si los encuentras tienes que a lo mejor pagar 60, 70, 80 euros por una cosa que encima era pequeñita. I say that I
Yeah,
like the
that
idea.
that was the real. Just wanted to show this one real quick.
Yes,
I think that's what you meant.
exactly,
This is the coloring book version, and there's also a version where
exactly,
you can just look at
exactly.
it because
That's the
it's
thing.
looking
You
through.
offer and as you see, the left version is from kids, and the right version is
For
from
us
other
old
guy.
guys.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that is something in the older times. Everything about the master was isn't logical because original was a toy collection was thought about kids, but we don't find anything. And now is and I told in Spanish that if you find some coloring book from the 1983, 84, or 85 in good condition, sometimes you need to pay 100 euros. And
Mm.
if you find you don't use because it's older and you have
Yeah, I
a
just want to collect it, of course.
exactly the only way is scanning, because the photocopy system is something vintage in many ways. But even if you want to scan this, to open is some kind of no. It's like the older comics, the older Master of the Universe comics versus the new version. No, the older are the original, yes, but try to open a comic from 1984.
Mm.
Sometimes are in good condition, but sometimes no. And it's
Yeah.
much better. You have this in your plastic bag with your cardboard, put in the shell, and use the new version that is possible. And if by any reason it's broken, you have the opportunity to take again. The older version are impossible to find. Oh, impossible is nothing with internet, but the problem is the price. And the price is too much from this.
That's true.
Dicho todo esto, voy a empezar a hablar con él y bueno, y a partir de ahí iremos desgranando las cosas como suele ser. The first question is, uh, when you send me your CV, you told me that your background, you like to draw, this is clear, but you spend, I don't know, maybe 2 decades like a tattoo artist, but you always want to be a comic book on an illustrator. When do you decide that I want to change and I want to do? I suppose you continue to do tattoos, but when do you decide to change or do another things professionally speaking?
Well, most of all, I am a tattoo artist, and I live off that. That's my income.
Mhm,
But it's just it's just a hobby, actually. The whole comic book stuff. At the moment, I'm trying uh, to push my Instagram account. I'm about 84,000 followers or something like that. I also have a YouTube channel which I put a lot of time into,
mhm,
but there wasn't like a time where I was thinking now I want to be a comic book artist. It just developed itself, I guess.
mhm. A ver, él dice que, a ver, él sigue siendo tatuador, que es lo que, digamos, que le paga la factura, pero, a ver, siempre le ha gustado, le gusta dibujar, y ha empezado, siento como, sigue siendo en cierta manera un hobby, Lo que pasa que él cada vez está empleando más tiempo en su cuenta de Instagram, que tiene como 80.000 seguidores, y sobre todo en YouTube, que es el canal donde él va poniendo lo que va haciendo. Y digamos que, bueno, sí, ser todo sigue estando en la parte de arriba de la escala, digamos que la escala alimenticia, por entenderlo, pero que cada vez va cogiendo la otra parte, va cogiendo un poquito más de fuerza, sobre todo porque le gusta. Eh, when you are a smaller a kid or teenager, do you read comics?
Yes, yes. I mostly enjoyed the Spawn comics. Those have been my favorites. When I was smaller, they weren't there, but in my youth, I started to read the Spawn series, which is my favorite, I guess. I also read a lot of Batman. But other than that, I had all the comics I could get. It was like the first one have been some Superman comics and stuff like that because those were available here in Austria.
Show your t-shirt, please, because you have a Batman. Yes.
Batman,
Yes.
The
Él
Dark
dice que
Knight.
sí, que él leía cómic de pequeño y ya de adolescente y que sus personajes preferidos son Spawn y Batman. De hecho, él me llamó mucho la atención porque tenía en los amigos, tenía una ilustración de Batman y Superman increíble. O sea, pero además, vamos, que el propio Tom McFarlane se podría quedar como diciendo, anda, ¿quién ha hecho esto? Dice que también leía cómics de Superman porque es algo que se podía conseguir en Austria, pero que en realidad le gustan los cómics. Eh, I, uh, I like Spawn too. And the reason the first things I saw you first was the coloring book the day after the convention began because Chris, one of the organizers of the Los Amigos, showed to Ken Coleman and me. But the first thing I saw in your portfolio was this is the incredible Spawn. But I saw the Batman and Spawn I really like because I like Batman and I like
Mhm.
Spawn, especially Spawn. Uh, for do you think in your mind you have the idea to send one something to Doug McFarlane to draw, for example, one cover of Spawn?
Of course, it would be nice to be able to draw a cover, a Spawn cover or whatever, but it's quite hard to get in there, especially since mostly the covers for the Spawn books, they are quite in a different style now,
Hmm.
and I draw with a lot of lines, and it's almost all digital nowadays
Mhm.
and a bit simpler, which means I don't think I have too much chances to get a gig for a Spawn cover. But of
Um,
course, I wouldn't say no
yes.
to Todd
Eh,
McFarlane.
le he preguntado, bueno, antes le dije si le gustaban los cómics, o sea, tampoco hacía falta que lo interpretara. Le he preguntado si, dado que le encanta Spawn, se ha planteado el hecho de mandarle algo a Tom McFarlane para hacer, por ejemplo, una portada, porque hacer un número interior es más difícil. Dice hombre, que le encantaría, que no lo descarta. Lo que pasa es que él dice que él ahora mismo está cambiando mucho y que su forma de dibujo quizá no sea la más idónea o la que más encaje con el estilo que puede tener, pero que él no descarta la posibilidad. Eh, I, in my experience, you always have the no before you even think the idea. But sometimes you talk with someone, sometimes you meet with someone, sometimes you can and you offer, and the other guy say, "Hey, I really like this. I am waiting for something like that." That's my approach. I know that here in Europe is a totally different approach than United States because in United States you have many different several comic conventions when it's possible even to meet with people like Doug McFarlane. But when you arrive in United States, you see that it's easy to talk with the author. Sometimes something in Europe sometimes complicated. In United States, it's more easy to go to the stand or to the table from the author and show your job. And I think this is
Yeah, of
it's,
course, and
it's my
all
experience.
all the big ones are there. I
Yes.
mean, if you have a convention, you might be lucky to get one or two artists you might know actually, but mostly they're. It sounds bad. It's like small fish, and
Hmm.
when you go to a convention in the US, there's Todd McFarlane, there's David Finch, there's Greg
Whatever.
Capullo. They're all
You
sitting
take the
next to.
list
I
and say,
haven't been yet, but I want to go at some point. I have some
let,
small kids, so I can't go at the moment. But in a few years, I will check
hmm,
out those big convention. I want to
yeah.
go. I want to go to the San Diego one time.
No, no, trust me, I attend San Diego Comic Convention, and it's like, for people like you and me, it's like a small kid in a candy shop.
Mm-hmm.
But especially because it's too easy to talk with everyone. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have three editors between the author, the table, and you. No, the author sit down in a table, you go, and if there are anyone, you say hello, you introduce yourself, and you begin to talk. For me, it was a shock because my idea is totally different. The idea in Europe is a totally different approach. There are too many people between the author and the normal guys. Even you and me, that you are an author and I am author too. But there are no. There are everyone know the difference between author, editor, and stand. But if you want to talk with someone, editor or another author, is more easy that in for example in Spain. It's the country I attend more comic convention. Le he dicho que mi experiencia, él no está por delante. Él dice que no he ido nunca a Estados Unidos, que en Europa cuando vas en un salón de cómic en Europa te encuentras 10, 15, 20 y en Estados Unidos te puedes encontrar eso, como pasa en Golan, 400, 500 autores. Y yo le he dicho que es mucho más sencillo conocer y hablar con un autor o un editor en Estados Unidos, especialmente en San Diego, que lo que puede suceder en Europa. Y eso es una cosa que se lo digo a cualquier autor. O sea, en Europa muchas veces tienes que lidiar con 3, 4 editores para poder hablar con un autor y en Estados Unidos hay un montón de gente sentada y te encuentras con lo que he dicho, Tom McFarlane, David Finch, Greg Capullo y quien quiera, sentaditos todos en una mesa, con su mesa, su silla, su roll-up, y si no hay nadie, vas allí, te pones a hablar con ellos, te presentas y no tienes mayor problema. Y eso en España, incluso, por ejemplo, mi experiencia en España y en otros países es que incluso si tienes la acreditación de autor, te ponen muchas más pegas que te pueden poner, por ejemplo, en Estados Unidos. Eh, I suppose, I don't know if you like, I suppose you like Master of the Universe, but what was
Yes, I
the,
do.
yes, but I suppose everyone in Los Amigos liked Master of the Universe in one way or another. But what was the process between the idea and the coloring book? Because the coloring book is not one illustration. I don't know how many pages have the coloring book, but it's a lot
Oh,
of
it's been a lot.
illustration.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot. And how was, I suppose someone, because there are something in the older times, but in the new time, for example, with Origin, I don't see any coloring book in the market. Probably there are some, but in between the 1999 was when the Origin was in the market. This see, 98, 99. I don't see any. I saw books, new comic books, older comic books, poster of that, but not coloring book. And what
Mhm.
was the process? Someone have the crazy idea, or you want to do something like this?
Well, the year before that, they had a sticker album, and I was chatting with Chris from the Los Amigos convention,
Hmm.
and I can't actually remember everything. Everything in my life is a blur at the moment. I work a lot as a tattoo artist. I have a lot to do with my Instagram and YouTube account. I have 3 little kids, so all I do is like I'm so busy it's crazy. But I wrote with Chris, and I don't know if I had the idea or he did. I can't remember, but from this chat, we came out with the idea that I could do a coloring book. And first, the plan was just to do a coloring book, a normal one. But then, that I can remember, I asked Chris what he would say uh, to a coloring book where there are also like finished sketches in there for us old guys, like you mentioned
Hmm.
before. And yeah, that's just the way it went. And then I drew and drew and drew, and
Hmm. Yeah.
was way too busy again.
a eso, vos. Él ha dicho que, a ver, él tiene, a ver, el año anterior en Los Amigos, o sea, el año pasado, en la convención de los amigos del año pasado, hubo un álbum de pegatinas, de stickers, como se quieran llamarlo. Y el tema es que, a ver, él estaba hablando con Chris, que es la misma persona con la que, la misma persona con la que yo contacto, con la que yo tengo el contacto directo en Los Amigos. Y bueno, él lo ha dicho, él tiene el tema de los tatuajes, tiene el tema de Instagram, tiene el tema de YouTube y tiene three children, two o three.
Yes, free.
Three.
Free.
Tres. Y tiene tres niños. Eso es trabajo, 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 trabajo. O sea, no tienes prácticamente tiempo para otra cosa. It's a lot of work. I have two, and I know this is complicated. Only
Yeah,
with two, with three, I suppose it's more complicated.
I guess
Pero
so. Yes.
yes, el caso es que hablando, no sabe muy bien si la idea fue suya, si la idea fue de Chris. El caso es que surgió la idea de hacer un álbum para colorear. Y originalmente iba a ser un álbum para colorear del mismo estilo que eran los álbumes de colorear de antes, que era pensado para niños. Pero en algún momento de la conversación del proceso se llegó a la conclusión de que sería bueno hacer un álbum de colorear, es, como le he enseñado antes, la imagen de Horda, que es el personaje que enseñó, que es una imagen pensada para niños, para que lo coloreen niños, y después una imagen pensada para que gente más adulta vuelva a coger los lápices de colores, que hay muchos que no los han dejado nunca, y se dedica a pintar. Y en eso yo creo que además es el gran acierto de ese álbum de ese álbum para colorear, que está pensado realmente, se han pensado muchas cosas para adultos, pero no se había, incluso las reediciones de cómics que hacen en Alemania, que son en tapadura, que son muy, muy, muy bonitas y están muy, muy bien hechas. Están pensadas por un público adulto, aunque las puede leer perfectamente un niño, pero cosas como esta, que puede ser algo para colorear, esto siempre se había quedado eso, se había quedado en los años 80, en la década de los 80, fundamentalmente, y pensada para niños. Y esto ofrece una posibilidad, por ejemplo, este es el Skeletor, que es absolutamente impresionante, que ofrece la posibilidad a personas más adultas de hacerlo. What is your favorite character of the master? And it's possible to say much more than one.
It's possible to say more than one. Okay,
Yes,
then
but
of course,
not everyone.
no. I would like to tone it down to maybe three. So Skeletor, of course, is
Yes.
one of the biggest. I have a whole wall dedicated to Skeletor. I'll show you really
Uh-huh.
quick. I hope you can see that.
Wow.
These are all. Oh, it's so blurry. Yeah, the camera setting isn't right, but
No, but yes, one
those
Skeletor,
are
Skeletor,
all.
Skeletor, Skeletor,
Well,
Skeletor.
the
Yes,
whole
yes.
the whole
You
wall
like
is
a
just
Skeletor? Yes,
Skeletors,
yes.
and these are just mixed up characters.
Uh,
But yeah, well, Skeletor. Then Trapjaw has always been one of my favorites, and I guess also Beastman. I really like. Just mainly like the bad guys. I don't know
mhm.
what that's saying about me, but that's how it
No,
is.
I I always like the Master of the Universe movie from 1987. I saw in the movie theater, and I
Hmm.
really like. I like the toys, but I like the original TV series, the animation series from the 80s. But I like the movie. Before 40 years before people like 40 years before Dolph Lundgren attend San Diego and take the sword of grade school, and everyone sounds look crazy with this image. But
Hmm.
I really enjoy with the Skeletor in the movie. I
Yeah,
really
me
really
too.
like. It's really scary, but it's real.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not a
I
crazy
think
guy.
they made a good
Yes,
job with
yes.
Skeletor in the movies.
It's and this man is another character, especially in the last animation series, the Revelation. I like how they offer more possibilities to grow. I think normally the bad guys they have more things around. The good guys always need to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like Batman and the Joker. I don't like the Joker, but I understand the
Yes.
Joker is more attractive than Batman, because Batman always need to do the right things, and Joker have any rule to follow, and sometimes it's much better. I don't like Joker, but I understand that Joker, Harley Quinn are more attractive than Batman or Batgirl or Batwoman or whatever, because they always need to do the right things in the right moment with the right timing. And the other guys will be
That's
possible
true.
to be crazy. Like this, like for example, like Lobo. I like the ambiguity between the good and bad with Lobo,
Hmm.
and this
He's right in the
great.
middle.
Exactly, that's the thing I like. A ver, le preguntaba cuáles son sus personajes preferidos de los Master. Me ha dicho que le gustan los malos, fundamentalmente Skeletor. Enseñó, lo que han visto es una pared donde hay todos los muñecos de Skeletor, desde la serie de animación estilo manga hasta todo lo que hay de Origin, con todas las variaciones, con todas las historias, con todo lo que se puede imaginar. Además, en Alemania, en Alemania se puede encontrar un par de versiones de Skeletor específicamente hechas para el mercado germano. Y el caso de Bisman también, él dice que le gustan más, que ofrecen más, que le gusta la ambigüedad de los villanos, es lo que yo le he dicho. Y le he dicho que a mí sin gustarme, y que lo que también le he dicho, en inglés, lo siento, es que a mí siempre me ha encantado la película del 87, la que hizo Dolph Lundgren, y que antes de que la gente se volviera loco en San Diego el año pasado, cuando Dolph Lundgren cogió la espada de He-Man otra vez, a mí me encantó esa película y me encantó sobre todo Skeletor, creo que es el mejor personaje de la película, es un personaje tremendamente da miedo, pero es tremendamente atractivo. Eh, what is your normal schedule when you sit down to create, for example, the Skeletor or the Ninja Turtles or whatever? Uh,
Um, I don't have a normal schedule because, like I said, it's really crazy about here with the kids. The youngest one is 4 years old just,
well,
so uh, it's very seldom that I have a lot of time. It's mostly, I guess, well, a drawing like those, like a turtle, will take me, I guess, 3 to 6 hours. Depends on how detailed and how big the drawing is. But I produce the drawings with about, I would say, 50 to 60 breaks. It's just it's lying on my table and I try to draw. When I get lucky, I'm able to draw for 2 hours straight, but that's mostly it's like half an hour there, 10 minutes there. So it's just crazy actually.
depende de, mine are 3 and 5. The good thing is
Mm,
they spend all day at at school, and I have free time during the normal week. In the weekend, normally I have time during the morning and when they are go to the bed. I know exactly how difficult it is. Le he preguntado
mm,
si él tiene algún tipo de horario. Él dice que teniendo tiene 3 niños, una pequeña de 4 años, es muy complicado. Pero él dice que, por ejemplo, para una ilustración como la de las tortugas, la que hemos visto antes, que él puede hacerla de 3 a 6 horas. El tema es que lo que él no puede normalmente dedicarle 6 horas. Él muchas veces pues puede estar eso, puede estar una hora, puede estar media hora, puede estar 45 minutos, puede estar lo que puede, o 10 minutos. Entonces es mucho más complicado hacerlo. No, no, there are the crazy idea that many people think that if you want to be good in someone, you need to always do one thing, but you do many different things. For example, I told, not in Spain, but for example, I met with some girl from Stockholm that she is a manga artist, but in one
mhm,
moment she decided to do tattoos too, because
mhm.
she met with
It's
someone.
very similar.
Ex-
It's not so different.
exactly, that's the thing. Do you really
You
think?
also need to draw. It's drawing on skin compared to drawing on paper, which is way easier, of course. But if you uh, can get a grip as a tattoo artist, you can earn money with your art, and that's a wonderful thing,
Hmm,
because this is very difficult, and it will be way more difficult in the future because now everyone can do art with all the AI stuff,
hmm,
and it will kill a lot of talent, of course, but And on the other hand, everybody can produce cool drawings. I mean, produce. Just
Yeah.
have to type in what you want, but it's working and it's working good. So it's really hard. It's really hard to earn money with other than a thing like tattoos and stuff. When you want to earn money with your art.
Mm. Le he dicho que, a ver, tiene la teoría que en cierta manera también es cierta, me refiero, es el tema de que si quieres ser bueno en algo, especialízate mucho. Y en su caso, él trabaja como tatuador, también es ilustrador, también hace cierta manera tutoriales, hace muchas cosas. Y le he dicho ¿cuál es su opinión? Él dice que, por ejemplo, con el tema y además le puso el ejemplo de una dibujante con la que ya mantuvo un encuentro virtual aquí, Natalia Batista, ella es sueca. Ella tenía ya una carrera como dibujante de manga, pero en un momento dado, el año pasado, por contactos y por interés profesional, ha decidido aparcar un poco su carrera como dibujante y dedicarse más al tema de los tatuajes. Y él dice que al final es lo mismo, que al final es dibujar, la diferencia es que en vez de dibujar papel, dibuja sobre la piel, pero que además la diferencia fundamental es que eh, con el trabajo de tatuador se puede ganar dinero de una forma no más sencilla, quizás más constante, porque el dibujar es igual de complicado. Y además el tema es que ahora mismo, aparte de que mantenerse siendo dibujante es mucho más difícil, está la amenaza, la amenaza real, está digamos con la competencia de la inteligencia artificial. Y el tema es que con eso cualquiera puede ser dibujante, cualquiera puede producir las mismas ilustraciones que hace él. Y entonces es perdón, es mucho más difícil conseguir un suministro, digamos que suministro no es la palabra, conseguir ingresos económicos basados en tu trabajo. Esta es la portada del libro para colorear, donde ven Merman, Skeletor and Evil Link. Eh, I'm thinking about with the coloring book.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what is after the coloring book? What is the next idea to do? For example, in one convention like Los Amigos, because you told about the sticker book. Now it's the coloring book. What do you think is the next step to do with your art? Because I really like the coloring book. I really like the idea, but I really like your illustration. One thing, do you do you someone offered to you to make an exhibition of your job, a physical exhibition in one place with
Mm-hmm.
the illustration hung in the wall, or your job is mm, through internet, through Instagram, through YouTube, and sometimes in convention like Los Amigos?
Well, I actually did a lot of things like that. You just said. Even before I started tattooing, I was painting and I did some exhibitions and stuff like that, and tried to sell my stuff, of course. At the moment, I'm not really interested in doing exhibitions because I want to grow the Dr. Rocke art.
Mhm.
Uh, how is it called? I don't know the English word now, but the product
Yeah.
Dr. Rocke art. I want to I want to make it bigger via social media like YouTube and Instagram, and then of course I guess I will do some exhibitions at some point. I don't have any explicit ideas for any conventions. I don't know if I will be at Los Amigos next
Mhm.
year. It
Mhm.
depends on how everything goes. It would be nice to be there, but it's also quite far away.
Hmm.
So needs a lot of
I
time.
know.
Um, yeah, but I don't. At the moment, I actually think, what do I have to do today and tomorrow? That's it.
Le he dicho, bueno, estaba diciendo que si tenía alguna idea para, o una otra idea después por ejemplo, del álbum de Colores, me ha dicho que en principio que no tiene otras ideas, que le encantaría volver a los amigos, pero el problema es que está lejos. O sea, él vive en Austria, los amigos se van a Alemania y creas que no, es una distancia. Y yo sé de lo que estoy hablando porque de Helsinki a Alemania también son, de Finlandia a Alemania también son unos cuantos kilómetros y además necesariamente por avión. Eh, pero él dice que bueno, que está abierto y que le encantaría, dependerá. Lo que pasa es que él dice que él piensa en hoy y mañana, que tampoco se quiere plantear cosas a más largo plazo. Y en cuanto a lo que le pregunté, él dice que él empezó, antes de meterse en el mundo del tatuaje, él pintaba y que hizo exposiciones. Lo que pasa es que ahora mismo dice que no le interesa hacer eso. En un futuro puede que sí, porque él quiere crecer como, digamos que como artista y quiere crecer en su presencia en Internet, que eso para él hoy por hoy, aparte de su trabajo como tatuador, es lo que más le está motivando. About the things you put in YouTube, uh, there are some kind of tutorial or something how to do, how I make my job, and if someone want to learn. And I saw a few of them, and I really like. Do you really like to teach how to do, or you want, or your goal is to share your experience with someone like you that want to do the same thing?
Um, I like to teach on in my YouTube videos. That's because I think it's very important for people not to give up on drawing,
Hmm.
because it's not just good for the result, but also the process is like we are living in a world which is way too fast,
Hmm.
and nobody can concentrate for more than 10 seconds. It's too bad, and with drawing you learn that again. And if you share everything you know, your heart gets bigger, I guess. And that's that's more important than to be the only one who is able to do this or that. And other than that, uh, I like to draw, and I just want to do drawings I feel like doing at the moment. And when I want to draw a Hellboy head sketch, then I'll draw a Hellboy head sketch. If it's going good on Instagram or not is not the most important thing. It's what I want to do and what I want to try out and mess about. And yeah, that's like I said, it's still my hobby, and it's yeah, that's just the way it is.
Hmm. No, I like your approach.
Thank you.
Yo le he dicho a ver que sus vídeos en YouTube, que les recomiendo que los vean, o que se metan en su cuenta de Instagram o en su canal de YouTube, que digamos que son muy didácticos, o sea, y le he preguntado si, bueno, si su idea es compartirlos en cierta manera que sirvan para otra cosa. Y él dice que a él le gusta enseñar, pero todo lo que le gusta, lo que quiere es que la gente que lo vea aprenda la importancia del proceso. Y él ha dicho dos cosas muy importantes. Una, que vivimos en un mundo muy acelerado, o sea, que la gente no se concentra más de 10 segundos en nada y se pierde, digamos que se pierde lo que es eso, la importancia del proceso, que muchas veces lo importante no es el resultado final, es todo lo que has ido aprendiendo durante el proceso de creación, en este caso una ilustración. Y después él ha dicho otra cosa que raramente se suele escuchar. Él dice que cuando compartes algo, tu trabajo se engrandece, porque es que normalmente cuando pones tu trabajo, o sea, es terrible y maravilloso compartir tu trabajo, pero realmente es cuando tú lo compartes y cuando ves la reacción de los demás, es cuando tú sabes si tu trabajo realmente no solo ha llegado, sino ha cumplido con lo que tú querías. Aún así, él dice que a lo que le gusta es dibujar y que si él quiere hacer un Hellboy, hace un Hellboy. Si él lo pone en Instagram y te gusta o no te gusta, vale, eso es tu problema. Pero él lo ha hecho porque quería hacerlo. Porque hoy por hoy es un hobby, aunque alguien le pueda encargar un determinado dibujo. Y eso es lo que realmente le motiva. Y en realidad lo que él quiere decir es que si tú quieres hacer algo, tú tienes que tener las cosas muy claras, independientemente de lo que te rodea, del ruido de fondo que tengas, porque si no, nunca vas a ser capaz de hacer nada. Eh, because you share the things in social media, en Instagram o en YouTube. What feedback do you receive of the people that see your illustration in Instagram or see the videos in YouTube?
Well, usually they are really well received. In Instagram, it's mostly like, I love how you did that, and stuff like that. And overall, mostly just praise. Sometimes somebody has some critique to offer, which is also good to get. On YouTube, there are more the best going videos on YouTube are the ones where I teach stuff, and uh, those are quite heartwarming because there are so many people. What I really got a lot is comments like, "Because of you, I started drawing again," which is really nice.
Ujú,
Like we were talking about before, and the other thing is that it looks like my videos are really helping a lot of people who want to learn how to draw or draw something, uh, a special character or something like that. And that's very nice. That's what keeps me going, as far as I can manage to have the time,
ujú.
of course.
Él dice que las reacciones suelen ser muy buenas, dice que en el tema de Instagram hacen preguntas y cómo has hecho esto, cómo has hecho lo otro, por qué has escogido el personaje, incluso alguien le puede encargar un dibujo, dice, pero que donde realmente él ve su trabajo es en YouTube, porque él dice que aparte de que las preguntas técnicas que le puedan hacer, porque evidentemente lo ven gente que está dibujando o que ha empezado a dibujar, él dice que hay mucha gente que le ha dicho que ha vuelto a dibujar después de haber visto sus vídeos o que sus vídeos le han ayudado a mejorar y sobre todo a seguir adelante. Y él dice que eso es lo mejor, porque ahí donde realmente ves que tu trabajo es algo más que sentarte a hacer, como dirían de manera peyorativa en nuestro país, 4 garabatos en una, en una página. Y yo creo que eso es lo que tiene bueno las redes sociales. Eh, Unfortunately, in the actual moment, the social media people, or they don't know how to use, or they use in the wrong way. But the social media, the internet, the virtual world, like these things, the thing we are doing now, if you use in the right thing in the right way, it's wonderful because you have the opportunity to share your things, you have the opportunity to receive feedback, and you have the opportunity to in some way to change how people think, how people see their own job. And it's wonderful that we live in a world what is possible. That you live in Austria, I live in Finland, the foundation
Yeah,
is in Tenerife, and it's possible that we are here talking about and someone in wherever, because especially if this meeting is in Spanish and in English, is the same someone in India or I remember when the things I made I contact the first time with Chris was from one convention in here in Finland I organized uh, 2 years ago,
hmm,
and when before even the convention finished, I began to receive messages through Facebook and through Instagram from people like people living in India, in Japan, or in wherever. And for me, it was a shock because I don't put anything because I in the middle of, but someone take pictures and put in Facebook or Instagram. And when I begin to hear sounds in my phone, I say, what happened? What is this? And someone say, I really like that, and I saw this guy is from India. How this guy know that there are convention of the master in Finland? And I saw the picture and I saw that someone in the convention take the picture, put in his Facebook account, and someone saw. And it's wonderful because you do
that's
something
true.
here in a small scale, in a small space, in the middle of nowhere in Helsinki, and someone in India in the same moment is seeing the same thing that someone is in the place. And this is wonderful. I think this
This
is
is
the wonderful world of the internet and the social media.
Yeah, that's the great aspect of it,
Exactly.
definitely.
For me it's the best. Yo le he dicho que lo bueno de las redes sociales bien utilizadas, porque la gente bajo mi punto de vista y también lo que he dicho, no las sabe utilizar como debieran o las utiliza de una forma muy apresurada, es que permiten eso. Por ejemplo, ahora mismo él está en Austria, yo estoy en Finlandia, la sede de la fundación está en Santa Cruz de Tenerife y la persona que lleva los mandos de la nave está en Gran Canaria y estamos pudiendo hablar todo. Y yo le he contado que cuando yo conocía precisamente a Chris, a uno de los responsables de los amigos, fue por organizar una mini convención de los másteres del universo aquí en Finlandia, y antes de que el evento finalizara, yo empecé a recibir mensajes por Facebook y por Instagram de gente que vivía en la India o en Japón, y yo decía, ¿cómo se han enterado? Porque yo no había mandado nada, yo había puesto la información, pero mi idea era, bueno, yo pongo todo el material después de que termine, pues yo no podía estar haciendo las dos cosas a la vez. Y de repente vi que había gente que estaba en la convención, que había sacado fotos, las había puesto en su cuenta de Facebook, y esa gente las había visto. Entonces, eso es lo increíble, que si las sabes usar, puedes lograr cosas que de otra forma sería impensable. Normally, when I talk with some comic book artist or illustrator, someone that creates something like you, there are always one question, and is if you are in a virtual world, but even in a virtual world, it's possible to say, is you meet with someone that show your job or ask what I need to do to be like you. You know that if you are author, someone go, for example, in Los Amigos, you are sit down in a
Mhm.
table, someone see your portfolio and say, I really want to do this. What do you say to that guy? What is your magical formula to be a good uh, illustrator, a good professional? Because it's a trick question, because I always say, and some authors look at me physically or through internet and say, this is a hard question, but because this is a cultural event organized from a cultural foundation, and one of our principle is to promote and to disseminate the comic book and the illustration and help people to be artists in the future. I always like to, because you have your career like tattoo artist, you are an illustrator, you have your YouTube channel, you have Instagram, you make the coloring book from Los Amigos, you have much more background that, for example, a 15, 16-year-old boy that he's in
Mhm.
the secondary and he wants to be an illustrator. If you sit down in front of him, what do you say? Or in front of her, what do you say?
Well, it's unfortunately there's not just a trick or a formula. You just have to practice like a lot. And when you want to learn an instrument, it's the same as learning how to draw. You need to figure out how to do all the basics, and you have to draw a lot. And there are many videos on YouTube and stuff like that. They would say you don't have to draw every day, do this or do that to get better, but you have to try to draw every day. That's the best tip I can give you. Try to draw every day and try to draw right. uh, you have to start with simple sketches. That's most important because the basics are uh, especially I get a lot of requests, so I should look over somebody else's drawings. And really very often uh, there are some drawings which are completely finished till the coloring, you know. They are penciled, inked, hatched and colored, but the basics aren't right. The arm is too long on this side, or just the base of the drawing isn't correct, and then it's not a good drawing. You need to try and get that right first, and then you can try to find your style, which means what kind of hatching or coloring or whatever you want to do. But overall, you can definitely say uh, it's a craft, and you need to practice. That's the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing nowadays, I would say, is don't use your cell phone as much as you do. I don't care to whom I speak. It works for everyone. We all are using or losing too much time with these things. I hate it.
Yes,
I
yeah,
try to do. I need my cell phone for keeping in contact with my clients, of course, with my all the tattoo art, the tattoo customers, and I need the cell phone for email and WhatsApp, all the stuff you need to do, and I use it for posting on Instagram and try to answer the questions, also on YouTube, and that's about it. That's what I do with my cell phone, and I don't binge watch every TV show there is.
hmm, hmm,
I
hmm.
enjoy watching a movie. I enjoy watching a show. I recently just finished the Lord of the Rings TV show, the Rings of Power. You can make time for that, but people are consuming way too much all the time, and there's not enough time left to get good at drawing. No,
Yes, yes.
that's the most important
I,
thing.
yes, if the new generation need to use the phone, the fax, and the letters to find information, or wait until someone show again one TV series or one movie or rebring one comic book like 30 years old, many guys decide to disappear to the world. And it's sad that now, because I'm working this year in something about Flash Gordon, I know Flash Gordon because my grandpa saw the Flash Gordon movie serials in the movie theater in the 40s in Spain, 40s and 50s. And when the Star Wars was in the movie, in the movie theater, I know who was, because there are some making ofs and something about Flash Gordon, but I know my colleagues have any idea, but I know this guy. But I don't have the opportunity to see Flash Gordon until 15 years ago, when I have the possibility to find a DVD collection of the three movie serials.
Hmm.
Now, if you want to see, not, I suppose the 600 movie serials are not in internet, but maybe there are 400 or something like this. If you want to see the origin of Indiana Jones, Peril of Nayoka, or Nayoka and the Tiger Men, whatever you want to name it, it's possible to see. If you want to see the Flash Gordon and Bart Rogers and Captain America and Batman and Superman and movie serial, you have the opportunity to see. And people don't use this tool. And it's so sad, because I remember when I begin to find the movie serials in DVD, I find a company in United States. Now it's closed after the pandemic. I ordered, I don't know, 30 or 40. And the movie serial are bigger if you compare, because there are many chapters. And now people have everything easy, and they spend exactly too much time with the phone, with the tablet, with the computer,
Way too much.
and way too much. And in the one of my favorite James Bond movie, the George Lazenby movie, Her Majesty's Secret Service, the songs that was from the song is "You Have All the Time in the World." The singer is Louis Armstrong, but unfortunately, you don't have all the time in the world, and you need to maximize your time. And it's
Hmm.
true. Now I need to say all these things, include the movie serials in Spanish. A ver, le he hecho la pregunta que siempre se le hace a un autor, hacer, si te encuentras con alguien que quiere ser como tú, ¿qué le dirías? A ver, lo primero es que no hay una fórmula mágica para esto, es practicar, 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 practicar. Pero él ha dicho cosas muy importantes. Una, que es necesario conocer los fundamentos de anatomía, de perspectiva, todas aquellas cosas que hagan que tu dibujo mantenga unos cánones. No es por ser clásico, no pretendo, ni él ni yo pretendemos que se guíen por los cánones del Renacimiento, de Leonardo, de Miguel Ángel o de Rafael, no. Eh, pero tienes que conocer los fundamentos, porque dice que encuentra dibujos que están terminados, que es un arte final, pero que las proporciones de la cabeza, el brazo, el cuerpo no están bien hechas. Y después ha dicho algo que no todo el mundo se atreve a decir, que es que la gente utilice su teléfono fundamentalmente como una herramienta de trabajo, que no esté todo el día colgado del teléfono. Porque él dice que él utiliza el teléfono pues como herramienta para leer email, para responder, para ver, para colgar las imágenes en Instagram, para YouTube, para responder a las cuestiones que le puedan surgir, para mantenerse al día, pero que él quiere tener tiempo para hacer más cosas y que la gente se está pasando todo el tiempo colgado al teléfono y ni está, o sea, si quieres, él viene a decir, si quieres ser buen dibujante, si quieres ser buen profesional, tienes que dedicarle muchas horas a esto. Y si estás muchas horas haciendo otra cosa que en realidad no te está aportando demasiado, más allá de supuestamente estar conectado, cuando en realidad no lo está, porque no se puede estar conectado a 40 cosas a la misma vez, malamente te consigues estar conectado a 2, no vas a conseguir nada. Entonces, tienes que tener tiempo para ti y si quieres hacer algo, tienes que dedicarle tiempo. Y después le he puesto el ejemplo de que a veces resulta, o sea, si las nuevas generaciones tuvieran que depender del teléfono, del fax o de una carta como no hace tanto, directamente se borrarían, se bajarían del mundo. Y que es una pena que ahora teniendo la oportunidad, tienen todo a mano. Le he puesto el ejemplo de Flash Gordon, que yo Flash Gordon lo conocí por mi abuelo, porque lo había visto en cine, pero yo nunca he tenido la oportunidad de verlo en pantalla grande. Lo vine a descubrir, digamos que hace unos 15 años, cuando se podían conseguir primero los VHS, que solían ser solamente para zona americana en vídeo y después ya en DVD para cualquier parte del mundo. Y el hecho, la primera vez que pedí a una tienda seriales cinematográficos, pedí como 30, porque quería ver Flash Gordon, Bar Roger, Capitán América, Batman, Superman y todo lo que se me ocurría. Y ahora que la gente tiene la oportunidad de apretar un botón y prácticamente verte, quizá no los 400, los 600 seriales que se pudieron hacer, pero sí 400, es una pena que la gente no se los vea y que se pase más tiempo haciendo lo que sea. Eh, del, for me, the last question in that case is always the same. If you meet with someone say yes to everything, what is the project like illustrator, even like a comic book artist, you really, really, really want to do and you don't know how to do because there are 16 editor between you and the idea, but if someone say, what do you want to do? You go to San Diego, you meet with someone from DC, someone from Image, or someone from Marvel, whatever, the same, because you make, or IDW, because it's the editorial, the actual editorial of Ninja Turtles, and the editor-in-chief say, what do you want to do? Because when you finish, I will say yes. You have one project I really want to do, or
Uh, I guess I would just go for some covers. That's I'm not striving too much in the storytelling direction at the moment, because there I have a bit of a problem with the AI. It's working so good already. I think I think it will take over anyway. So I don't know. I'm a bit frustrated in this direction, honestly. But what I really would like to do are some covers in my style, in my sketchy drawing style. Uh, yeah, that would be the most cool thing in the comic book world for me personally.
yeah, the good choice because one cover save a comic book. A bad cover,
Yeah.
even inside, is wonderful. I think that one of the best things from Todd McFarlane when he began to work in that area are his cover. The cover, this amazing cover of Batman, like a vampire with a girl that I even saw the original. He only made a few Batman covers, but was incredible. And the cover from Spider-Man and the cover from Spawn, I always remember the first Spawn cover in Spain,
Mm.
and it's like, what is this? Because the Wildcat, what what really nice, Wildcat, Youngblood, everyone, but the Spawn cover was, wow, what is this?
Mm. Yeah,
And
they're the
that's,
best.
yo le he preguntado que si fuera a San Diego y se reuniera con un editor de Malvern, DC Image o EDW, que es la editorial que publica las Tortugas Ninja ahora mismo, le dijeran, dime qué quieres hacer que te vamos a decir que sí, ¿qué harías? Y él dice que él querría hacer portadas porque él todavía, o sea, lo que es la parte de hacer el arte final de un cómic no lo tiene todavía y que en realidad además dice que está él ya usa la palabra frustrado. Yo creo que lo que está es preocupado por el tema de lo que la inteligencia artificial está consiguiendo hacer. Pero él dice que si pudiera, lo que le gustaría hacer portadas con su estilo, que es lo más importante. I like this thing. You will like to make cover with your style. You don't change because
Yes.
it's your style. Because it's good to know that people say, if you don't like my style, I change. No, no. If you have your style, try to be consequent and continue, because it's the only way. Because if you change too much, the I think the good comic book artists in the world have in the history from the last 50, 60 years, when you see a cover from Tom McFarlane, you see one splat page from Jen Steranko, you see something from Greg Capullo, wherever, even you know who is the
Mhm.
artist, or you see this great and amazing page, splash page from Jack Kirby, you know
But
that's Kirby.
still, I need to cut in there because for especially for all the young stars, it's very important to try out a lot. And the style thing is for many guys and girls uh, a question which is getting too much. How can I put this? It's getting too much energy. Shouldn't be
Yeah.
like that. You really need to find your style over many years. It's not just like you. Mo- I get that so often people draw for a year and
And yes.
think they need to have a style. That's way too early. That's and even if you have a style, you can change it. I mean, take a look at my Instagram account. When you scroll down, 2 years ago, the drawings are looking totally different to what I do now. Styles change and evolve, and that's also very important to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm. Good point. Él dice que, bueno, sí, es importante tener un estilo, pero primero, no te puedes obsesionar, no puedes volcarte todo, porque es que el estilo no se consigue en 2 días. Eso es totalmente cierto. O sea, eh, una persona que dibuja, una persona que esculpa, una persona que escriba, lees algo que has dibujado, esculpido, escrito hace 2 años y sigue siendo tú, pero no es lo mismo. Él dice que además es bueno que tu estilo evolucione, es bueno y es necesario. Y no es bueno que las personas se obsesionen con eso. Es bueno que luches por tener tu estilo. Es bueno que luches por encontrar tu estilo. Pero que también tu estilo tiene que ser, o sea, tienes que ser capaz de evolucionar y adaptarte a otras cosas. Porque también es una forma de, bueno, a ver, yo los ejemplos que he puesto que se hacen muy radicales, pero bueno, tú ves la evolución de un Jack Kirby, ves la evolución de Tom McFarlane o la evolución de Steranko y se nota. Lo que pasa es que también hay personas que llegan a un estatus donde se pueden tener el lujo de hacer lo que les da la gana o no cambiar absolutamente nada. Pero tampoco es bueno estar absolutamente obsesionado, porque lo que dice él, hay personas que dicen, llevan un año dibujando y ya este es mi estilo. No, no. O sea, eso es para mí, eso estoy totalmente de acuerdo, es un error. I agree with you, but after 1 year you have no idea what is your
Yeah.
style. You
Mhm.
need to, and sometimes you do something and you begin it's the same like before, and someone can and say, hey, this is totally different. And it's when you say it's true, because you change and sometimes you are not able to know that you are changed. Sometimes
Mhm.
it's something you need to do. In essence, you are the same artist, you are the same creator. But it's true now, it's the thing you saw before. People spend 10 seconds to things. What they want to do? And they spend 10 seconds. And
Yeah.
sometimes you need to wait 10 years until you find something that you call a style. But
Yeah.
now people think in seconds, in minutes, but hour is too much, and months is, and year is, and sorry, things, everything happened for a reason. This is one sentence from Lost I really, really like. And sometimes you need to sit down and wait. And it's true, I saw your Instagram account, but in some way there are something similar. Now, I think in some way, maybe you are actually more secure than 2 years ago, but at last it's easy to see your style. But I totally agree with you. The style is something you never know when you really find, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Anything
you
more
can't
to
force
know?
it.
Yes, exactly. Él ha dicho eso. Lo que no puedes hacer es forzar. O sea, ahora la gente pretende conseguir las cosas en 10 segundos, en 10 minutos. 10 meses nada y 10 años olvídate. Y muchas veces necesitas eso. Y el estilo además, muchas veces, lo he dicho, tú no eres consciente. De repente tú haces una cosa, alguien viene y te dice, oye, esto es totalmente distinto a lo anterior. Y tú no eres consciente hasta que alguien te lo dice. Pero lo que no puedes es forzar. Anything more to say?
No, I guess we covered some very important points here.
Yes. And you are sincere and you say the right. You don't want to put some sugar over the job. No, no. This is the thing you need to do, and this is the thing you don't need to do. And sometimes people are afraid to say, and I totally agree with you. If you want to be a good professional, you need to focus. If you diversify too much, unfortunately, the day they only have 24 hours, and you need to spend time eat, and you need to spend time sleep a little bit. And the phones are really nice, but spend the day, see videos for someone, do something, do something from you, from yourself, and show and share things. Is when when you share things is when someone send to you a message, and it's when you understand you are doing the right thing. And this is the good things. Um, Martin, thank you very much, because it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to talk with you, and I hope people enjoy, and I invite people wherever that come to internet and see in Instagram and in YouTube that Martin's work, because you really like and you really enjoy, and I hope we will meet in other Master of the Universe convention, or in other comic convention, because I really like to have a coloring book of Batman with your Batman stuff. Of course, a Spawn coloring book. If you have the idea to make a coloring book of Spawn, I don't have any problem to contact with Tom McFarlane and sell your idea, because probably
Okay.
McFarlane really like, because I spent a year write a book about him, and he liked new ideas, and I like your approach. Something from the new generation and something from the old generation. I'm very grateful you think about my generation, not only the new generation of the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I think it's important. We
Yes,
need to spread
and
the word for the masses. We
exactly,
need to
and I
get
hope
bigger again.
I hope you like my approach, the question, and how this virtual meeting
Yeah, of
works.
course. Thank you again for having me. Of course, was a lot of fun, and I think it's very nice that we could cover some, for me, very important questions.
Mhm.
But so
I think not
totally got
only
it.
from you. There are many people that think in the same way too, the same way, because it's important that in this crazy crazy moment, someone say, "Hey, stop, wait a second, and think about what do you want to do." It's important, especially when someone have your experience, your background. And it's important to share different point of view. Don't only focus in one thing, because the difference between to be a comic book artist or a tattoo artist is the material you use, but at the last you need to draw. It's good that you share these kind of things with people from different background, different countries, and different generation. This is so important. En resumidas cuentas, le he dado las gracias, dice que le ha gustado mucho, cómo lo hemos hecho. Le he dicho, yo le agradezco además el que nos haya demostrado que se pueden hacer muchas cosas, que al final entre hacer un tatuaje o hacer un dibujo te cambia el soporte, pero al final tienes que dibujar, y que es importante que la gente se pare, respire y se dé cuenta de que si quieres conseguir algo, tienes que dar otras cosas atrás. Martin, I need to close to say thank you to all the people that help to these
Mhm.
things, but thank you very much.
Thank you again as well.
Y también les recomiendo que se metan en Instagram o en YouTube. Ahí tienen el nombre de la persona. De hecho, su biografía está en la página web de la fundación. Y métanse porque tanto los vídeos están muy bien y el trabajo que hace. Aquí hemos puesto unas muestras de su trabajo donde han podido ver desde un Spawn hasta una Tortuga Ninja o un Hellboy. Pero les recomiendo que lo sigan porque además está, y sobre todo los vídeos están muy bien y bueno, aunque no tengas grandes conocimientos de inglés, te da igual porque los puedes ver muy bien. Y yo voy a terminar dándole las gracias en primer lugar a la librería del maldito porque todo haya salido tan bien, porque teníamos nuestras dudas, porque Martín me comentó que llevaba tiempo sin usar Skype y esto ha quedado muy bien. Además hoy está Gonzalo a los mandos de la nave y eso siempre es un marchamo de calidad después de 4 años, sin menospreciar a número uno, a Chris, muchísimo menos. También quiero volver a dar las gracias a la Fundación, a la Cátedra Cultural Moebius, al excelentísimo Ayuntamiento de Santa Cruz de Tenerife, al Cabildo de Tenerife, al Instituto Canario de Desarrollo Cultural, el Gobierno de Canarias, el Ministerio de Industria y Turismo Islas Canarias, a la Unión Europea y a Chris y al resto de los responsables de los amigos por haber invitado en su momento a Martín, por la idea de hacer el libro de colorear de los mates del universo y por ayudarme a que este encuentro virtual haya sido posible realizarlo. Y les invito a que sigan asistiendo de aquí hasta el día 23 de octubre, aunque el día 30 habrá otro encuentro virtual a la versión virtual, valga la redundancia, de Santa Cruz Cómic, y a partir del 24 y hasta el día 27, o en este caso hasta el día 30, porque después hay posalón, a la versión presencial de Santa Cruz Cómic, que se celebrará a lo largo y ancho de Santa Cruz de Tenerife, entre el día 24 y el día 30. Martin, thank you very much. I hope the people really enjoy, and I hope the people see and you have more followers in YouTube and Instagram
Hopefully.
until these
See you
things.
on Instagram, guys.
Yes. Y muchas gracias y hasta la próxima ocasión que nos veamos.
Have a nice day.
Same to you.
Bye.